Welcome to the Principal Podcast, where we talk about how the best professional services firms grow. Whether you're looking to scale your firm or learn from the stories of founders and leaders who've done it, you're in the right place. Join us as we interview the best leaders in professional services. Let's get on with the show. Dr. Sharon, welcome to the show. Happy to have you.
So much. Oh, well, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. Let's jump straight into it. What got you into this whole thing, Dr. Sharon? What got you started?
I always say that like your calling finds you, and leadership development found me. So I was working in corporate America after graduate school, and I found a passion in training and development. And then I found this doctorate program in adult education at Columbia University, and it was an executive ed program, which really allowed me to, during the summer and on weekends. And so that's what I chose to do. And during the program, they moved our doctorate program, this was at Columbia University, to the business school. And I was told by my advisor at the time, listen, you have to do leadership development in your dissertation. And I originally wanted to study adult development. So it was an interesting, it found me. That's really what I can say, is that I had to do a dissertation linked to leadership development. And that's when I became so interested in it, because I studied how leaders transform their styles, their way of being, and become the leader they were born to be and become authentic leaders. So that's really, I often say, look, it found me, but I'm so grateful it did.
Love this.
Yeah.
Pretty much your calling then. I mean, literally.
It is.
So all this leading to what? Like, what is it that you're helping people achieve today?
Yeah, so I wrote a book called The Authenticity Code, and we've been doing training programs in my business, Inside Out Learning, inside of Fortune 500 companies globally around the world for the past 25 years. And really, in that area of leadership presence and leadership presentations and authenticity, because so much of who you are, that matters when you are leading an organization. Just like you're more likely to buy from someone who's authentic, you're more able to follow someone who's authentic also. And so I started doing these programs and designing programs around leadership development and authenticity. And then many of our clients said, please write a book on this, because this needs to go broader. And so that's when I decided to write the Authenticity Code. And it's now, on the Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestselling list, received an award for the best business fable. And we're really proud of that. And so we're really helping to level up leaders and help them connect with who they truly are and who they're becoming, and go to that next level, and also be able to hold that space for a large organization, because they role model the culture to the organization.
Okay, so I think the goal is, so everything you said plus the ends, meaning I was about to ask you, okay, but what does that mean for an organization when a leader levels up? I mean, that sounds great. I love it. I'm former video game player, so leveling up, all for it. But to achieve what? So is it to help them better define the culture, transfer the culture from the leadership and who the decision makers are and want the culture to be, to transfer it to their teams? What does it mean for a company to have leaders that have leveled up and stay there?
Absolutely. So what it means is, first of all companies like to promote from within whenever possible, because it costs a lot of money to go out to do an executive search. So if you can be leveling up your leaders internally and be promoting from within, you would much rather do that than have to go outside to an executive search that really at that high level might cost over $1 million at least. And then, so it saves money. It provides clear and effective communication and presentations. So our programs teach that. Whether we're doing executive coaching or we're doing training programs or even leadership team offsites, we are helping leaders to have effective communication and presentations, which, as you know, can also lead to sales, and it increases influence. It increases the ability to get to yes in what you're asking for. And also, like you said, it really sets the culture for your team and for your organization. Sometimes our clients are transforming a culture. Sometimes we're working with a startup and they're just forming the culture. So either works when you really are developing who you are and realizing, okay, what kind of culture do I want to create in my organization?
Love this. And that does make a lot of sense. Do you have a specific niche, a specific industry, a specific company size that you typically do that for?
Yeah, so for many years, we were really in that Fortune 500 space, and we still are. We still are working with many companies in that space, even in the top Fortune 50. However, lately, we also are working in a lot of mid to small size businesses, especially innovative startups, which is a lot of fun also. And so I would say it's really that senior executive, VP, C-suite, or even like that HR learning and organization leader that typically will bring us in to that type of company. So right now we have a mix of that Fortune 50, Fortune 500, and then mid to small size businesses. So we've really diversified our client base in the last couple of years since we published the book.
So that's actually very interesting. I mean, when you listen to all traditional business mentors, they're all recommending you to go up market. And the Fortune 500 is literally as high as it goes. I mean, you're going to have private companies making lots of money as well, but Fortune 500 is where you want to go, right? Because bigger structure, more complexity, more problems to solve, and let's say it, more money to be made.
Right.
So why going down market? And I don't say this as a negative, right? But just as a strategy, why doing this?
Well, first of all, when there's an organization that's starting up and they have a lot of investors, they actually do have funds to pay for the startup of the business.
Fair enough.
And what's amazing is how easy it is to work in that type of environment too, where a PO, you might have to do an RFP, right, to win a Fortune 50, Fortune 500. In a startup, it's like, hey, let's sign you up, and it's signed up within 48 hours. It's very easy to work in that type of environment. And, we really work in those startups that have investment backing behind it, and that we believe in also. So there's a lot of companies out there right now that are just doing incredible, innovative things. And it's a lot of fun to have that diversity of client base.
That also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So in leadership development, Dr. Sharon, the question I'm always asking myself is, usually the people that a company like yours ends up helping is not necessarily the person that makes the decision of having you help them out. So how does it work for you? And we're going to get into the marketing aspects of this, but first maybe positioning. Who do you need to talk to in order to be able to help the leadership team of a company? Like, who are the different actors and stakeholders that you need to think of when it comes to we need to help here? There is something to be done.
Right. So it really varies, but either we are getting contacted by an HR leader or a learning and development leader saying, hey, I've got a client that has this need in communication and influence and or in presentation. And so they're coming to us asking that. It could also be a senior executive or a VP who is over the organization and they see a need. So they're like, boy, I'm getting annoyed by how some of my people are presenting, and I really need them to learn new skills. Or, I really want to see more promotion from within. How do we do that? And sometimes it's even the C-suite. So in these startups or mid-sized companies, often we're talking to the C-suite as well. That's saying, boy, this is our need right now. So we just became a coaching company of choice because we have many executive coaches in our portfolio that our clients can choose from, where a C-suite really contacted us to say, let's talk about you being our coaching provider of choice.
Absolutely love this. So tell me more about that, actually. How do you think about marketing, branding, getting the attentions of those leaders, the VP of operations, potentially head of L&D, CHROs? What has worked for you, Dr. Sharon, marketing-wise, to get the right attention, to get the right branding, and to get the right people to knock on the door? I'm not talking about sales just yet, just attention and leads, basically.
Yeah, attention and leads. Attention and leads would be, we do great work and we get referrals. And that we have clients that might refer us within a company, but also outside of a company. And that is a really key part of the way that we market, but it's not really marketing. We just do great work and we get the referrals naturally. And that has been what we've done for 25 plus years, and it still works for us. We also do a lot of LinkedIn. So I think I'm very close to 20,000, and they're qualified connections. So, really, we provide great content weekly on our LinkedIn, and that really helps to have people be watching videos that they can get, 2 to 3 minutes of content of how to level up their leadership, or even an article that they could read quickly and be able to apply it to their leadership or to their team and share it with their team. So we really like to give, and we also do an email newsletter once a month at least to kind of say, hey, here's what's new and here's something I found valuable. So we love to share and to give value. And also I think, even doing podcasts like these, right? And sharing this on LinkedIn can really be helpful so that people are learning, right? This is an audience of probably entrepreneurs and small businesses, but they would be learning, well, what can I do? What can I apply? So we like to give practical advice in whatever we're doing with our marketing. We also develop marketing materials, right? So for our key services, we have a coaching program package and an offsite facilitation and leadership training program catalogs that we can send to potential clients so they can review them, and then we review them with them. And it's very helpful.
And the book.
And the book, of course. Yeah, the book, of course, is a great marketing. And to be honest, I do some speaking engagements as well, both paid, and I will take a few pro bono because I want to spread the content. I want to spread the content as globally as I can.
Yeah, I love this. The one thing that I want to double down on here, which in my opinion is so important, is giving the knowledge away for free and selling the implementation. I think, especially when we're looking at 500 companies, Fortune 500 companies, but also large organizations or small organizations that just raised a lot of money, they have much more money than time anyways. And the way I like to think of this is, to any professional service firm owners out there, thinking about, but I cannot say everything in my content and so on. The people who will buy from you will just trust you even more if they see what you're doing, if they see content from you, if they see your face multiple times on LinkedIn coming across, they are more likely to convert. And the ones who wouldn't buy from you and who are going to use the content for free to just do it themselves are the ones who probably have never bought from you in the first place anyways.
Right. Very true.
I really like this very holistic content strategy, Dr. Sharon, because for me it shows that you got it, right? That's the game in 2026. Content, value. Obviously, so we like qualium, which is quality volume. You need to do a lot of content, but you also need to make sure it's qualitative. So yeah, that's a long rant to say I love this.
Yeah, thank you. And we get gratitude daily on my LinkedIn messages
Right.
with the content that we give away. So I do want others to hear that as well. That so often we'll get a thank you. Boy, I just used this in my team today, and it really helped. And then they say how it helped. So that's very gratifying, also.
Here we go. Connect the dots for me. So gratitude, content, views, give a lot. How do you tie all this to revenue? So can you walk me through how you go from this attention, the book, the readers, the people like hearing you at a speaking event to a conversation, a sales conversation,
Yeah.
an SOW, letter of engagement with work and roll? How do you think about moving people further in the sales funnel?
Right. So I think that many times, whether it's coming in through a referral, we will always meet with the potential client and really first understand their needs. So we'll meet virtually often and on video. We can see each other. I spend little time talking and a lot of time listening. And really want to understand, what are you looking for? What are your needs? And I'm not afraid to say, hey, we're not the best consulting company for that. And even if I know a consulting company that is good, I'll refer them. But I really want to hear, what do you need? And then to say, this is what we have that can meet that need. And so we will often have that initial call, and then we'll follow it up with one of our catalogs. We try to schedule the next meeting before we end that call. And then we send the catalog, they look it over, and then in the next meeting, we really are talking about, okay, what did you see that was interesting? And we start to talk about that. And usually at that point, if they're interested, we clarify, we answer questions, we make sure they understand the offering. We recommend what we think best meets their needs, and then we will send them a proposal if they ask for it. So it's pretty basic in whether we're getting a referral, or sometimes it's what's called a bluebird relationship too, when maybe they've worked with us in one company and then they've gone to another company. They know how good our programs and coaching are, so they contact us. So same thing there, that we're able to do that. We also have a sales channel organization, and that we're a thought leader for, and they sell our programs. So that's called APG, Advantage Performance Group, and they are fabulous to work with. And so they are out there selling our programs also, as well as other thought leaders programs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I rarely have that on the show. So how does it work? You have multiple people who have different programs within the same sales organization that get a lot of the ICP, so the ideal customer profiles of the people, members of this association, and they sell the right training or the right coaching or the right service based on the leads that they get. Is that how it works?
Right. So they have several sales partners who are out selling for them, and there might be 30 of them, and they are selling multiple thought leaders work. Now they make sure that they don't get, so they're not going to bring in another thought leader that does what we do, that does the authenticity work and presentation skills work. They're not going to do that. We are their thought leader in that area. So there's not like inner competition that way. But then they're out talking to many companies, big companies, that Fortune 500 companies, mid-sized companies primarily, that they listen to their customer needs, and when they hear what we offer, then they pitch that to the potential client, and they're getting us into some amazing companies now, that it's really helped to have that partnership with them.
Interesting model. Talk to me about retention, Dr. Sharon. So You come in, you help the leadership team or other leaders within the organization. You do your magic, people level up, people are able to transform or transfer the culture properly or in a more efficient manner.
Mhm.
And then what? How do you think about solving the next problem and the next problem? Like, how do you think about client retention overall?
Yeah, I think that we deliver great work and outstanding service, and we're a partner. So we understand their needs. We share what we do that can best meet their needs, and we deliver on our promises and what we say. Then we follow up, and we will, we'll really start with a kickoff of the program with the client once they've bought a program or coaching. We do milestone check-ins during a program and leading up to that delivery. And then we do a follow-up debriefs to learn from the project. So we often will say, let's really look at what worked and what we need to change for the future.
Yeah.
And that's when we provide them with the evaluation results, what the participants said about the program. We do a summary of that. We send that to them. We send them the raw data. And at that time, we really talk about what's next. So in that debrief call, we're talking about what's next as well. So many of our clients are multiple year. I mean, one of our clients is 21 years. And so we're just so grateful for the relationship because we keep delivering. So and then we follow up, and they also see that we apply. So in the next program, let's say they said, hey, I want to change this. We apply that so that then they can, see even a better improvement that next time. So they're really seeing us partner with them.
I mean, yeah, 21-year relationship, speaks, I don't remember the right English expression right now.
Yeah.
Speaks volumes, I think is the right expression.
Right.
Yeah, nailed it. What can I say? I like your style, Dr. Sharon. So let me ask you a little bit of a curveball question, if you don't mind. What is your number one challenge right now? What is the one nut that you guys are trying to crack that once you crack, you're gonna take the whole thing to the next level? What would that be for you?
I have an amazing global team, and that really allows me to focus on key strategic priorities that I should be focused on. And I would say that challenge right now is keeping up with the pace of AI. So what you create today in AI, you might invest like a huge amount of money into an AI coach or an AI bot that can really be integrated into your programs. But then you might have clients who they have their own AI systems, or they have strict requirements on how to use AI, and they may not be able to integrate that bot or coach into their AI system. Or they might, just say, okay, we can't do that, right? Because I don't know, especially if it's like a federal agency or something, they're very careful, or a bank, very careful on how you use AI. And yet there's so many people in this industry, like so many other industries, that want to see you're on the cutting edge of AI. So right now, how we're dealing with that is I'm choosing not to invest in an AI coach or bot right now, but we are developing a number of AI agents, meaning prompts that people can use and save over and over again to help level up their presentations and really knowing who they are and who their audience is. So that's where we're choosing to invest our time and integrate it into our programs. That is definitely a challenge, is how do you keep up with the pace of AI right now?
So there are so many things that I want to piggyback on here, but let me say this, Dr. Sharon. I love doers. And I have a very simple way of spotting people who talk versus people who do. It's so everybody's obviously all about AI, implementing AI in their organization, in their clients, blah, blah, blah. But you can see someone who's really doing the thing when they can pinpoint a specific problem that no one would have thought of before doing it. And you could only find out by actually doing the thing, which is Yeah, so we developed this amazing AI chatbot, or Dr. Sharon version in AI. But
Right.
actually, whilst rolling it out with clients, we found out that their organization don't allow us or let that specific AI chatbot into their organizations or leverage their data whatsoever. So what do? I love this, and I love the way you're thinking about solving that challenge as well. It speaks volumes. But I'm repeating myself now.
Well, thank you. It has been, I've been, I practice what I preach also. That's part of authenticity. And I have my own coach and mentors. And really, I've been thinking about and doing research into this the last year. And that's what we chose to do for now.
Well, clearly, it seems to be working all right.
Yeah.
On the other side of the coin, what's a big opportunity that you see and that you're excited to work on in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, well, actually, coming up with these AI prompts and agents that can help our leaders' jobs be easier. We're going to have several of them that can be integrated into all our training programs. And then by the end of a program, leaders can take away 2 or 3 of them that, hey, the next time they go to understand an audience or to really make a presentation, they can use these prompts that will really help them to make the best presentation and really understand their audience. And I will also say that I'm kind of thinking one step ahead as well, which is, right now AI is the craze. And in a couple of years, it might be like COVID was, right? Because when COVID hit, we were all on virtual. You had to be. You were forced to be on virtual. And then after COVID and we opened up, then everyone wanted in-person contact. They did not want any more virtual programs. There was this craving of in-person contact. And I actually feel that with all the desire of the digital craze right now, there is going to be in the future a real demand for human connection and human connection skills. And how do you have a conversation with a human? So that is what, I'm really thinking a couple steps ahead as well in the next few years is around that demand that I think will be coming up.
Okay, I want to be very cautious about how much of the spotlight I put on the guest versus on what we do in this podcast. So I'm just going to drop one thing. I couldn't agree more with you.
Mhm.
And I think, again, in the day and age where 90% of the LinkedIn content is generated by AI and now is answered to by AI anyways, I'm just taking LinkedIn as an example, but like it's everywhere. We were pretty lucky, but getting into podcasts has been like, I don't know how to say this in English, but like AI is exploding and it's gonna do wonders, and I believe that. And I mean, we're
Absolutely.
using it. We see a lot of people using it, and for sure, it's gonna huge productivity bump, all that jazz. And then people are gonna crave human authenticity, the authenticity code, and human connection and real conversations. Absolutely love this.
Yeah.
Dr. Sharon, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sharon, if people want to find out more about you, see what you do, where should they go?
Well, they can go to insideoutlearning.com is our website. You can also go to linkedin.com, and my LinkedIn name is Dr. Sharon Lamm, Lamm Hartman. And you can join also, you can connect with me there, but you can also join our community of practice, which is really a LinkedIn group. So you can go to www.linkedin.com/groups 138-415-06 and another backslash. And that's where you'll also see a lot of content shared on leadership development on a weekly basis.
We will put all the links in the description. I can say one thing for sure, Dr. Sharon, is that you've gained at least one new connection on LinkedIn out of this interview. Me, I just added you.
Yay. Oh, that is fabulous. And I would love to stay connected with you. It's been a real joy to have this conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Principal Podcast. We hope you've learned valuable lessons and strategies to grow your firm and take your business to the next level. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening to this show so you never miss an episode. To apply and be a guest on the show, click the link in the description. See you next time. How was that, Dr. Sharon?